Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Rabbi.
This week's Parsha is Vayigash. This is the end of the story with Yosef and his brothers. This is the showdown, the final showdown. Yosef does not want to give up Binyamin. He claims that he stole from him. He stole his goblet. And Yehuda now steps up to the plate to tell Yosef, listen, I want my brother back, or else. So it says, the Pasuk says, Vayigash elav Yehuda, and Yehuda approaches him. So the Medrash says, what type of approach did he have? The Medrash says, Hagasha l'muchama. He didn't just approach to talk to him, he approached him knowing he's going to war with him. It's a whole different demeanor. So the question is asked like this: how did Yehuda think that he will be able to fight and to wage war against Yosef when Yehuda and his brothers were very few in number in comparison to the Egyptians at that time? And Yosef was the ruler of the whole place. And even though Yehuda and his brothers were mighty people, Yosef was also strong, and Yosef, in a sense, was even stronger than Yehuda, to the point that when Yehuda did something, Yosef did something back, or his son did something back, and Yehuda expressed himself saying, wow, he's even stronger than me. That's what Yehuda said. So, after all that said and done, they're outnumbered. Yosef and his son are stronger even than Yehuda, and Yehuda admits to it at the time. How did Yehuda justify, and it makes sense to him, to wage war against Yosef? Tell him, listen, if you don't give me, that's it. We're counting the cities, we're splitting it up, we're going to, each one of us, we're going to knock the whole place out. Where do you justify such a thing? However, the answer is like this. Because Yehuda took a responsibility, he told his father, I take responsibility to bring Binyamin back. It's not about calculations anymore. The calculations are out the window. I made a word, I made a promise, I got to go till Mesiras Nefesh, till self-sacrifice, I got to go. And this is the way to do things in a certain way. When you go with calculations, a lot of times you could stop and say, it doesn't make sense, it's not going to happen, it's not going to work out, I won't be successful, I'm wasting my time. But when you know you made a commitment, it's not about how, it's not about the justification, it's about just doing it, that whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and Hashem will help. So the same thing over here, this is a very, very important lesson for parents in general. That, like Rashi says, Mikana taloimid, from here you learn that this is a very important lesson for parents, that when you are educating your children, and sometimes there are questions, how am I going to afford it? How can I pay for yeshiva? How can I do this? I have so many things on my time. I don't have time for my kids right now. I can't do this or I can't do that. Or Judaism in general doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit on paper. Or time-wise, schedule-wise. You have to understand that if you make a commitment and you understand that this is your responsibility and this is what you have to do, so Hashem will already fill in the blanks. You will be successful. There is no calculations. Action has to be done, and everything else, the calculations will follow later. Later, either you'll find out the calculations, or without the calculations, it will work out. So a lot of times people have a job, and they have a certain amount that comes in, and at the end of the year, it figures itself out. According to the one money that you made and the bills that you pay, somehow it doesn't make sense. But somehow it works out. If you are committed to doing what you need to do, Hashem will help you. You will be successful. And in most cases, just the actual approach of Mesiras Nefesh, of self-sacrifices, that opens up the gates for you. And may we be able to stand up strong and tall, to approach the bench and to do what we need to do. And we will see the blessings of Hashem, B'karev Mamish. Amen.